get it right now.
Unit heading up to the code 3 chase. Suspect was last reported southbound on Highway 99.
Can you give me more info on that call? Just clearing another call. I'm headed over there. Closing fast on a vehicle that matches the description. That reported party? All units go to condition 2. Piled into a rig. Stand by.
This is an emergency broadcast to all frequencies. Survivors in the Pleasant Valley region should make their way to the whitelisted server of Tranquility immediately. Server admins are standing by to monitor your activity. Watch out for increased levels of cooperation amongst various native inhabitants. Warning, the H1Z1 infection is at an all-time high. To protect yourself and your friends, gang violence is acceptable, but rule violators will be shot. Rule violators will be shot. The Pleasant Valley Board of Trustees on Tranquility welcomes all newcomers and would like to remind everyone out there in the wasteland to stock up and stay vigilant. This concludes the emergency broadcast. Tranquility for all, peace for none.
All right, and here we are live, McLeod.
Yay!
We're ready for another edition of the Undead Zone. Oh, you're a little excited. I have my trusty beer. Do you have your trusty beer?
I don't have a trusty beer because I stupidly forgot to chill it in time.
Ooh.
And I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of warm beer.
I am not a fan of warm beer. No, absolutely not.
So I'm just
absolutely not. And again, we compete with Fireside Chat, so that's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say hello to everyone. Alliance Tournament is not very interesting. Entertain me. 9 foxtails. We're going to try, buddy. We're going to see what we can do. We may or may not.
Foxtails, quite interesting considering, Alliance Tournament isn't really exactly that interesting at all. We did kind of have a kind of sort of a tournament-y sort of thing going on in H1Z1 like the other weekend.
We did.
I didn't know this.
Wasn't it?
Sorry?
Wasn't it kind of the biggest thing at TwitchCon?
It was pretty much the biggest thing in TwitchCon. They had the largest floor. They had the largest floor surface area to use, and yeah, they had a hell of a lot of stuff there to entertain people.
I was going to try and get Marconius to weasel him in the show, but I didn't remember I was supposed to ask him about that until about 5 minutes ago. So I did not ping him.
Bit of an issue.
So if he shows up in chat and wants to join in, we'll just bring him right in.
Yeah, just chuck him right in there. It'd be great.
So there's a little bit of interesting news in H1Z1, but before we get into that, I want to remind everybody that's watching, and we'll remind folks a couple times in between, that if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to the channel essentially for free. There's no additional cost if you have Amazon Prime to link your Prime account to your Twitch account and actually sponsor channels. So if you'd like to do that, we'd love to have you as a subscriber, and you click that up and off you go.
It would be really cool. Those guys at Amazon are awesome. To give each and every single person in Prime who already has a Prime account, just to be able to shower their favorite channels with free money. It's great.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna try and find that link real quick. I should have kept it in the notes, but I didn't.
God damn it.
Yeah, just go to little Amazon Prime and Twitch. Bet you gets me right. Look at that. No. Didn't get me where I wanted it to be.
No, it didn't.
Can you believe that?
It didn't. It didn't get you to where you wanted to be at all. It's just...
Oh,
you see,
here it is, right here.
Doing this sort of thing under pressure is kind of hard, man.
And there's the link right there. We're kind of encouraging everybody to kind of do it. Click on that, link your account to your Amazon or your Twitch Prime. They actually started something called Twitch Prime as well. So if you don't want to pay for Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime. I'm not sure the difference.
Well, I think Twitch Prime is going to have a few additional things as they roll it out. Like as they've rolled out sort of the major sort of thing, which is kind of like the link between the two. But like I think there's additional stuff still to come on the whole Twitch Prime thing sort of area, which is going to be cool. Like, you know, I think you're going to get a few games free, and you know this, that, and the other. So it's going to be pretty cool.
There is some stuff with just linking them that comes in the first month free, and I forget what they are, but I think they're actually on that page.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
there are some like you're eligible for special deals on certain games and stuff like that in Amazon as well. So like you get money off. I don't think there's a huge amount of money off really AAA super popular titles yet, but I think it's like a starting point for them, you know.
Oh, well, here it is.
See how it is, and then they're going to progress from there. So
yeah, free in-game loot every month. They're starting with Hearthstone and Smite, and a copy of Steamline the day it launches. You then begin to get Twitch ad-free, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And so those are the kind of the things you get on Twitch there.
I don't know how Twitch ad free is going to work with people who have, you know, things like ad block set up. I kind of feel like it's probably going to be exactly the same. The experience, at least, is going to be the same. But I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, we don't play ads on our channel. I mean, unless you get the default ones that come in when you first start up, right? We can't control those. But I think we've
been kind of thinking about maybe running like some, you know, in terms of before the shows and after the shows, maybe kind of like running like preview-y kind of like things for stuff's coming up, you know, stuff coming up on the actual channel. Like not ads, you know, from other companies or this and the other, but like just literally like previews of and like kind of like a collage of like clips from other shows and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we might do that.
We might be getting
not ads.
We might do that. That's about it.
Yep. And if you're new to the show and you want to shoot us a follow, sorry, McLeod, didn't mean to step on you. You know, we always take a follow. We love follows, right?
Yeah,
sorry about that. It's that whole cadence, a little bit of delay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So, hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the channel. And, whoa, looks like my channel froze, actually. Because I do like to watch it at the same time to make sure the feed's coming through good. Cadence, a little... re-updated. There we go. Okay, so we're coming through okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
This one.
So, welcome to all the viewers today. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to try and bring you a little bit of news, and if you'd like a specific thing about either King of the Kill or Just Survive you want to chat about, shoot it in chat. We'll bring it up in the conversation, right?
Most definitely.
Yep. All right. You were going to say, McLeod?
As for what's happened, I mean, TwitchCon's happened, so that was kind of cool. That had the H1Z1 Invitational, which was basically a whole bunch of sort of laddered matches, which basically gave us 2 games. Like essentially, I can't remember what it was like 60-something people to run 2 games, and then the prize pool was basically determined on top 10 of that. With I think the top prize bringing in approximately 40,000 for the winner, which is great.
Wow.
Like that's insane. It's an amazing that's an amazing prize for, you know, coming first in a you know, in a King of the Kill match.
Yeah,
it's great.
Keep you in beers for a couple days, right?
Yeah, just a bit. And those I think it was a guy called Inboxes and a guy called Radek as well, who won those prize pools, who won the glory of surviving the H1Z1 King of the Kill matches.
Nice.
And the thing that I thought was quite interesting about 9 Foxtails actually was the fact that Radek is part of a group called Echo Fox.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, little thing.
So yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, and speaking of King of the Kill, we are gonna probably get a little more involved in King of the Kill here, aren't we?
I'm hoping that we will, but like how we do that is still to be ironed out, as it were. But hopefully we'll be getting a little bit more King of the Kill action going on, and maybe that might reinvigorate some of the Just Survive kind of stuff as well, in its own unique kind of way. So that's an interesting kind of thing to come.
Yes. Yes. Well, I think they've been putting a lot of work into the Just Survive piece, right? They've taken that live. And
Yeah. They kind of. I mean, that's skeptical. That's what they put a lot of work into it. They put a lot of, work in putting it together, but not like troubleshooting the terribleness that it all broke.
in King of the Kill as well.
Oh, in King of the
Yeah,
Kill,
we're talking King of the Kill.
They kind of polished the crap out of that.
Oh yeah, they polished it up and they released that real time. And then Twitch was kind of the big debut of the whole thing.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, so I hope some of those changes, because a lot of them will apply, right? A lot of the rendering and things of that nature and everything comes into play in Just Survive too. So I'm interested when that comes down the pike.
Yeah. I have been playing just King of the Kill, on and off, as I'm sure a lot of people who even played Just Survive kind of are kind of doing at the moment anyway as well, considering the state of the patch and the state of the servers as such. But like I think a lot of people who haven't played King of the Kill would actually be quite surprised as to how okay. I mean, I'm not going to say it's absolutely amazing, but like how okay the actual performance is in that client, considering the amount of resources and the size of the map and like the kind of level of detail that there is in there now. It kind of sucks that you still can't turn off shadows and stuff, but I think it's just going to be how it's going to be. It's going to have to, you're going to have to. I guess. Daybreak Games has to draw the line somewhere, and I think maybe they may have drawn it a little bit high, because a lot of people's performance suffers quite a lot when they turn on shadows. But I think it'll be what it'll be, really.
By the way, I am chatting with our boss, Mr. Porkbutt.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, Mbox and Echo Fox won that tournament. You can actually watch the gameplay from Radek, who won I think it was the second one. I think it was. I'll just send that link there. It's kind of interesting because
cool.
You can people can kind of watch it and see the perspective of someone who, went into that match and walked away with somewhere to the tune of $40,000 US. That's what that gameplay looks like. And I'm not going to lie, the people who went away with nothing. There are a lot of people who went away with nothing who are exceptionally skilled at playing playing King of the Kill, but just the luck just wasn't there. Because part of the game is skill, part of the game is luck. It's just unfortunate. Sometimes you may have all the skill, but you have all the bad luck in the world. And just that's just the way it goes.
It is.
But thankfully there wasn't any kind of terrible game-breaking bugs and stuff like that appeared in the game or anything like that when they were streaming or in the tournament, which is good, because I imagine that is an absolute nightmare scenario for anybody, any producer of a game who's trying to put on a tournament with that kind of prize pool. So.
I am gonna interrupt this a little bit here.
Go for it.
Porkbutt has offered to join us and talk about his stroll around Daybreak when he was out there at TwitchCon. So I'm going to bring him in. So I apologize to everybody. You're going to hear the Skype call ring, but we can't avoid that one. There we are. We're going to add him. And then I'm going to see if this scene change applies work. Oh, look at that.
Are we?
Well,
I'm on a delay. I haven't seen the scene change yet, so like.
oh, you will. I just added him on the phone side, right?
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Oh,
hello. How you doing, Mr. Porkbutt?
I'm doing really good. How are you guys?
Hey, boss. How's it doing?
up?
How are you?
Doing great. So are we live? I guess we are, aren't we?
Yeah, we are
live.
live. We absolutely
Oh,
are.
awesome.
So, welcome to
Well,
the
I just
show.
sent
Completely
I just
live.
sent a tweet out about the show and everything. So, yeah. So, like, what do you guys want to start off with?
Well, we've just covered some very preliminary stuff. If you want to share some of your stuff from last week, that would be great.
Yeah, we just kind of got
Yeah.
in, and I was talking a little bit about the Invitational and who won, and yeah.
I gotta say, it was really cool seeing like the H1Z1 spread at the Invitational. It was actually, I think, the largest floor space of anybody there was actually the H1Z1 Invitational. So it was a pretty big deal. And it had something like, I can't remember how many concurrent games were going on at the same time, but one of our guys, Space Mexican, who used to broadcast here on TMC before he got too busy with work, he actually participated in it and did pretty well. I mean, he got in like, I think, was in the top 25. So I mean, it's like close but no cigar, you know. But
That's cool.
Yeah.
you know, he was there. He got to participate in it and had fun. We just got to kind of learn a lot about it. I actually was really quite impressed with just like kind of the overall changes that they've made with King of the Kill in the last year or so, because it's definitely been a really hugely evolving game since it started. And I think King of the Kill has probably evolved the most. And so it's kind of cool to see all of that really come together at TwitchCon.
It was really cool to see. Like,
Yeah. Like,
from a
my secret hope is like we can kind of get a King of the Kill group going stronger in the Imperium. I think that would be really neat. Maybe do like some tournaments and invite some of those people who are really into that to come and participate. So we'll have to see. But I really, really enjoyed the King of the Kill content at TwitchCon. It was really fun.
Yeah, I've got some ideas for streaming some of that stuff and how we could handle that. We go, hey, Primetime TMC is now a survivor, or now a subscriber. It's not a survivor.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that Twitch Prime subscription.
Yeah,
Bezos
that was actually,
bucks.
I think, that was
is
probably one of the coolest things about TwitchCon is that ability now to link your Twitch account with your Amazon Prime account, because so many people have that Amazon Prime for, you know, the shipping benefits. Like, I mean, we just ordered like some fucking oatmeal today with Amazon Prime, right? So
Oatmeal.
It was so the same place that you can order your oatmeal from. You can also you know, watch gamers game. So it's pretty dope.
Are you doing the Amazon Pantry thing?
Yeah, the Amazon Pantry, and then like with the Amazon Prime, the shipping is basically like the cost of lethargy it takes for me to walk across the bridge to Giant Eagle. So I mean, you know,
Dude, that's
pretty easy.
that's a long walk, and it's a bad part of town. You don't want to go over there.
Long walk. Yeah.
Can I just
Actually,
ask
I don't
something,
mind.
actually? Can I ask something about Amazon that I've never really kind of understood? Like, I think it's starting to sort of appear over here in the UK, but like it's definitely a thing in the US. But these like Amazon instant order button things, like who needs that much of a kind of like, I need washing powder now?
Yeah,
kind of.
I mean,
like,
I don't really know, but like kind of going back to the I know that you can put a button somewhere in your pantry of like, I'm out of flour, and boom, now you have more flour, you press the button. I think like the more interesting thing though is this whole idea of what Twitch is doing with the Amazon merger, because, you know, that happened 2 years ago, and it was just kind of like, what's going on? And people were like, oh, well, you know, Twitch is just going to try to compete with YouTube and Google, and it's just sort of like their answer to that. And they're going to try to turn Twitch into some kind of competitive YouTube version that is owned by Amazon. But when you think about it, Amazon has so much more use out of a service like that than Google does, right? Because Amazon has like the retail side of things. They have the access to like all kinds of products that Google doesn't. Because what is Google's main product? It's SEO and advertising. And Amazon actually has products. And so when you marry the two together, you could be playing a King of the Kill tournament, and all of a sudden, like, Amazon can send you a message and be like, hey man, I heard you like saltiness. I'm going to recommend these Nutter Butters for you. And you'd be like, oh man, thanks Amazon. I really like it, saltiness. But just an example of the kind of things that happen when, you merge those two things together. I, for one, am a really huge fan of convenience. I think, in terms of all like marketing and customer oriented services, they all trend towards enabling you to be lazier and lazier. And Amazon is certainly above the curve, and Twitch is certainly above the curve, because it's like with Twitch, I don't even have to like wait for my favorite YouTuber to make a YouTube video and upload it. They're just like, fuck it. I'm just going to do it live, and we'll, talk about it on stream and have fun and everything. And that to me is like even more of a instant gratification thing, for better or worse, but I love it. TwitchCon was really, really great. San Diego is fucking beautiful, and I just can't. I'm here now in Pittsburgh, which is home of the Steelers, so go Steelers. But it just isn't the same. Sorry.
Hey, I get you a picture by Ben's locker somewhere.
Yeah. So we had a really fun time too in the whole yachting adventures. So me and Matani stayed on a yacht, and we threw lots of parties and everything. And so part of our whole idea of like what we're doing with Twitch Prime and like your valuable Twitch Prime subscriptions will go towards supporting eventually a server for all of our streamers to utilize, because we still don't have that yet. And we're talking about different ways to sort of get that out of people's personal uses and to rent some space somewhere. So that's part of it. But the other part of it is going to be used for throwing these parties. And it sounds kind of like, if you're not a big partier, I understand. But I think one of the best parts about being in the Imperium is partying with people in the Imperium. And we do try to go out of our way to throw parties in different parts of the country at various points throughout the year. And when you meet somebody that you've been playing an internet game with, and you drink with them, play a board game with them, like hang out, then to me it has a lot more power and connection than just simply communicating over a computer screen. I mean, that also has merits as well, but I think getting together in person is like very key. So we would like to start funding some of that, and to encourage people to go out there and mingle, and not just hang out together on a video game, but actually like go out there and make friends. So,
well, the kind of the sort of the, I'd say probably interestingly, I'd say the funnest sort of boat show / meta show that like they had for a while was actually when Boat was at one of the player meets and he did it from a laptop there.
Right.
I actually really enjoyed that show.
Yeah, you get to put a face to a name, and we're gonna do that. Like when we do these parties, these events. Like the next one coming up is at Eve Vegas at the end of this month. We're definitely going to do some streaming from that, and kind of like interacting with people who can't be there, because understand, like, life is life. You can't always afford like a plane ticket to go out to Vegas, and especially if you're like in the UK or other parts of the world.
I need to figure out a way of getting to the US more often, with less money. Like, I don't know how to do it.
Swimming is free.
There might be a shark or two between him and us too. Come on,
North Atlantic. I think it was like
North Atlantic. They just got caught, right?
And a fairly severe hurricane as well.
Just a couple.
Oh, that just helps the sailboat go faster, McLeod. Don't give us that crap.
That's right. Depending on how you approach it.
I think the other big thing about San Diego, I mean, the Twitch and Amazon stuff is really cool. But, going back to Daybreak, we learned some things. I mean, I think there's been a lot of kind of heartache about Just Survive. And, one of the new changes that happened actually right before TwitchCon is they're bringing in a new executive producer to oversee Just Survive. So there's still the executive producer overseeing H1Z1 in general, Chris Wynn, but then they're also bringing in another dude from Valve. I think his name is Landon, to oversee Just Survive. So what I understand is that the goal is to try to fix anything that's not working before implementing new features, because
Hold on.
obviously that's a really big point.
Hold on. I got to hold on to the desk here, just so I don't fall
you
out of
like-
my chair.
Yeah, I know. Like,
No, I mean,
It's a novel idea, right?
well, the predominant philosophy in software development right now, which I hate, by the way, and I see it in industry, you see it in gaming and everything, just throw the new feature out there. Forget the fact that it's not complete or it has some bugs,
It
right?
doesn't work, right?
I do not like that style of development.
I think that's what's so hilarious. Do you watch Silicon Valley?
I do. I love it.
So I think that's one of the really hilarious things about this last season of Silicon Valley, where they're like, no, it doesn't matter what kind of a finished product you actually want to have, as long as you have features that people buy into, even if they don't work. Like, that's the most important part. And it's so true, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I to Daybake's credit, they really lucked into this huge phenomena of H1Z1 King of the Kill that I think deservedly needed to be its own thing, because it's just so different. And with the Twitch buzz that it was getting and the competitive atmosphere around it, it's like in the top 5 of games that are streamed on all of Twitch. And that's pretty huge. And so I think deservedly, they should split that off and, focus on it separately to make it its own thing, because they're wanting to do things down the road. Like, Amazon's already hinted at a lot more game development utilizing Twitch's backend, like putting Twitch features into the actual game itself. Like, and so like, let's imagine if you're doing a King of the Kill, and then all of a sudden you have a streamer that's sort of acting as a host / game manager, and they can like throw a horde of zombies at somebody. So instead of just like dodging gas attacks, like maybe there's other kinds of obstacles that they can start implementing in there as well. Because I love watching King of the Kill, but when you watch a bunch of pros play it, it's almost like the first 10 minutes is inevitably people just sort of running around and surviving. But the action always happens at like the last part of the match, and that's exciting to watch. But it'd be also exciting to sort of see more obstacles being thrown at them throughout the course of the thing itself. So I think that's really cool. I think there's a good idea for them to split off of Just Survive. But in the time period that happened, Just Survive has taken a bit of a hit, and obviously the bugs have been bad, the hacks and exploits have been bad, and before they really need to go and fix anything, I think the community is just universally telling them, like, please don't put any more features in the game, please fix it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, when you saw the announcement of the new producer, right, you start reading down through the comments, and that's exactly what they say, right? Please fix things, right?
Please, and that I think that's a really good place to be, because it's not like go kill yourself, which, as we know, the internet can totally do.
Especially Reddit,
to me
right?
showed like it showed a willingness from the community that still believes in the game, still believes that it's a fun game to play, and it can be really fun. It's just you need to do XYZ first before I think you're going to have that community buy in and trust you again. And I think that's very possible. I mean, it's just game development is a really, from what I've learned, getting to kind of see little bits and pieces of how the sausage gets made. It's a very clunky thing, and when it works really well, it looks really easy, and we're like, oh my gosh, like this is, how can anybody else fuck this up? But it's really not that hard, and you got a lot of moving parts and people working on all these different projects, and it takes a massive amount of communication and just leadership to push through and get things done. And scope creep is a ever-present problem, because you like want to do this game that does all these things, and then next thing you know, you're tacking on feature after feature after feature, and then the code won't support it. You have to go back and redo the code. It's just like 2 steps forward, 1.5 steps back constantly. So I think it's a good move, and we might not see any immediate changes, but I'm really hopeful that going into 2017, I think that H1Z1's Just Survive is going to really start flourishing again.
You mentioned something, and it's something that we've talked about on and off again. In fact, some people on our own Just Survive server were surprised that we couldn't do this from an administrative standpoint, right? Hey, what happens if you have people playing and things going on, to be able to raise a horde of zombies,
Right.
right? And be
I
having
think that would
some
be
sort
really
of
cool. Like if you, I mean, I really, really like the idea of there being essentially a role in multiplayer games of a game master. I think that's what's really cool about what Amazon is doing with its game development with Breakaway and Crucible and the kinds of games that it's working on is it's actually developing the game to have a game master role itself.
Yeah.
And that's very, very cool.
Well,
So-
think of it in terms of D&D, right? I mean, to have a digital DM essentially in your game.
Exactly. And you're throwing out obstacles and you're throwing out hurdles. And I would guess that because, Daybreak and H1Z1 had such a big presence at Twitch, that there's probably going to be a pretty mutual relationship between the two. And I imagine that Daybreak is most likely steering in that direction as well, because I think that is the future. I think there is a future where there's an integration of all video games with Twitch. There's a lot more interaction within those video games, and it also just adds to the whole enjoyment factor of watching them. And so it's kind of a win-win-win. I know there's a lot of people who are very negative about Twitch sucks, and it's just it's this thing for tweens, and I don't get it. And yeah, it's true. Like I'm an older person, and in fact, we at TMC, along with the Star Citizen guys and some of the random D&D streamers that were there, like we were kind of the oldest people at TwitchCon, which was kind of weird. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's a new form of media, and whenever a new form of media comes out, there's gonna be a lot of naysayers, and this is no different. So, but I'm really hopeful and excited for what happens in the future.
Yeah, I look at my kids, and you guys, I think, know how old they are. But I mean, I've got a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 6-year-old. Okay, they're all about to be a year older, and even the young girl, right, the youngest of all of them, she has her YouTube channel that she likes to watch, and she will watch that instead of television. She'll sit there with a laptop. The boys will be playing video games on the TV, and she's watching her YouTube channel. They're not into Twitch yet, but people who have taken like Minecraft and different games and created storylines out of them, they have watched that for years. Yeah. Right? And they will watch that before they'll watch something on TV.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is getting back to, there's a lot of reasons TV is kind of not adopting very well, and I think Twitch undercuts them and YouTube by being a very, very cheap way to entertain people, and it allows people to have a much deeper creative, a lot more creativity. So you don't have to work with all these network requirements and everything like that, and that was hard. I've worked in TV for a little while, and you always have to kind of take the lowest common denominator for a lot of that stuff, because you got to have investors that are happy. You have to please a particular audience. You have to please the owner of the network you're working on. There's a lot of different people that have to be pleased. But with Twitch, the only people that have to be pleased are the people that like your stuff. And if nobody likes your stuff, then that means I should probably try something else. And so it's a very one-to-one relationship with you, the content creator, and the audience that watches the content. And that doesn't really exist until, a couple years ago with, maybe 10 years ago now, man. But like 10 years ago, YouTube coming out, and that's when all of that really started. So television hasn't really adapted to that very well. And there's some new things like with Netflix and Amazon Prime, which isn't technically television, but they're very smart, and they use their user data to make TV shows now that users of their services like. And that's huge. And so if you look at that and you're like, man, I really like Man in the High Castle. I really like, my wife really likes Orange is the New Black. So like, it makes a lot of sense for them to sort of start making video games with that same kind of mindset. So it's cool. We'll have to see what happens.
You kind of see it in the amount of kind of quasi Game of Thrones clones that have kind of propped up, like here, there, and everywhere. It's like, but that's a very obvious sort of.
There's certainly a lot of that, but it's like everybody is hedging their bets. It's kind of like with a while there with MMOs, games are very expensive to create, and so everybody would just hedge their bet and like, well, we're just going to make a WoW clone, and WoW is very successful, so we'll make our game like WoW. Well, now game development is getting a little bit cheaper, and so you can try new things. You can definitely do things now that you could not do very cheaply or easily a long time ago, and so that's also helping. We'll have to see where it goes. It's a very, very exciting time, I think, to be in these new forms of media, whether it's, if you want to consider video games as one of those forms, or like Twitch broadcasting. I think it's a really, really interesting time to be doing all of that.
Oh, I do too. I mean, I can just see, because we've talked about the potential and the desire, at least. Let's put it this way, desire rather than potential. Of getting a Just Survive whitelist, or not Just Survive, but a King of the Kill whitelist, right?
Right.
Can you imagine weekend tournaments, and we're there producing and sending out, hey, we're having a weekend tournament, and the winner's going to get X?
I think that would be great. Like, I would love to, we have the ability to organize these kinds of things. Right. We have a lot of experience with it. I would love to just organize tournaments and to bring people together and be like, hey, this is what video games are all about. Like, let's bring people who have all these different experiences and come from all these different places, and let's bring them together to blow each other up.
Yeah.
So why not?
And you could sit there and comment on the game and almost be like fans watching it, at the same time.
Yeah.
There's just so much potential. It'd be cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited. Going back, I know this is a show about H1Z1, so I don't want to deviate too far into the meta of streaming and gaming in general. We can try to keep it all related to H1Z1,
right?
But H1Z1 kind of came about, I think, in these two paradigms. You have the old paradigm of like a DayZ type of game, or something like that's building on a lot of pre-existing stuff that we know about survival games and just what has worked on Steam before. And then you also have it kind of straddling this new paradigm of like what we know about how games work with streaming and how they're going to look moving forward into the future. And I think it's really cool because I think they have the ability now to kind of say, yes, we're going to push this forward. And there's some things that, we've tried with, it doesn't work. But we're going to keep pushing forward anyway. And I think that's a really good sign for a company to, listen to its customers and to understand, like, we're not going to always get it right the first time, but we're going to keep pivoting until we get it the way you want it to be and the way that we're happy with. And I definitely feel that Daybreak is doing that now, especially knowing that they're kind of doubling down on King of the Kill and Just Survive. And so I'm very excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah. Me too. And I think one of the things that Just Survive kind of suffers from, that I don't think anybody has really kind of figured out a way of solving, at least so far, is the issue with streaming Just Survive is the fact that people end up getting stream sniped.
Right. And that's an issue, I think, with a lot of games. I mean, PlanetSide 2 suffers from that a lot as well, when people don't want to stream it because they don't want to get sniped in it. I think any kind of open world sandbox game where there's a lot of players running around, that's the risk. I mean, that's a risk in EVE Online. Yes. People aren't going to stream fleets as much like big fleets because they don't want to give away OPSEC information about where that fleet is, where they're going. And so there's they'll run it on a delay or this, that, or the other. I think to a certain degree that makes sense. Again, I think just like spying is a way of creating content in EVE, whether you like it or not, I think stream sniping is a way to create content in gaming, whether it was planned for or not.
Well, the funny thing is, we sometimes, last year sort of thing, we sometimes actually used to use the stream sniping as a way of actually developing kind of content. I remember the Spanx, he tried to do an event and decided that he was going to fool basically anybody who was trying to stream snipe by having them think that he had 3,000 rounds of ammo on him. And essentially what it was you guys come down here, and if you kill me, you get 3,000 rounds of ammo, kind of thing. And it was all a complete ruse.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So I'm a big fan of any sort of like content generation like that. I think it's cool. It might not necessarily be the way it's supposed to be played, but
Yeah, and the delay, and as Skeptic and I were just chatting in chat about, when you do the delay, then it becomes very difficult to interact with your viewers,
Yeah.
right?
It does,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I'm going to be very curious how Amazon Game Studio handles the development of its open world game called New World. It's an open world sandbox MMO, which I don't know about you guys. It kind of sounds like something that we would be into.
No, not at all.
No, not at all, right?
No.
But
It's based in America, but it's based in
it's like in the colonial,
like
it's
the
like
start of colonial.
around the time we were bitch slapping England around. Or
I might
the
have to
time
play
that
that.
England was like, why are we worrying about the colonies when France is our bigger problem?
I just want to point out, McLeod,
Yeah.
we offered to pay for the tea, and you guys wouldn't let us pay for it. Okay, we offered, you refused. Just pointing that out.
Tea's a sacred thing, man.
Yeah, we
Tea.
dumped it in the
You
salt
don't mess
water.
with that.
That pissed us off.
Hey,
Would that make it
Dump it
salt
salt.
tea?
Jesus Christ.
they were mad. They wouldn't even take money for it. It was terrible. We
You
offered
didn't
to pay.
even hear my pun.
No, what was your pun? This
Would
is
that
this is
make
a
it
no pun zone, by
completely
the way.
missed
But go ahead.
Would that make it salt tea?
Salty. Yeah, they were a little salty. A little salty.
Kate Color would be proud of you, Pop.
I'm done.
Kate Color would be
That was
proud.
my one pun of the day.
So I want to talk about this. Now, did you actually stay on the yacht and live there?
I did.
You
Yeah. We stayed on the yacht and
That's pretty cool.
That's a little cheaper than hotel rooms. I like that idea.
did the. So it worked out. It's kind of a all-in-one party space, sleeping space, and it had a couple of berths with beds to lay back
you go.
in, and
It wasn't a case of drink till you pass out, and then wherever you ended up sort of waking up, that was where your bed was.
Didn't you see
Well,
the
that's a little
pictures?
presumptuous, but yeah.
He was asleep on the dock. He was asleep on the back of the boat.
You know what I didn't realize? Those docks, they move up and down.
Yeah, with the tide.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you can kind of feel them going up and down a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was really soothing.
It was soothing.
It was very soothing.
Some people puke, but okay, you're good.
Yeah. I don't know. There wasn't too much. It was pretty. I wouldn't say tame, but it was a good arrangement, and I think
cool.
much fun was had by all. So we would definitely want to make sure that when we go and we do these big Imperium events, that we are able to throw parties like that. And not to go too much into cost of it all, but part of the reason that the Amazon Prime stuff is cool because it does help us fund it. If we're doing like a party every other month somewhere, that's at least $1,000 in booze plus food plus all this other stuff. So it does add up. You got to have something to fund your horny white boy lifestyle, as we've discovered.
But we're only a multi-$100 a month business. We don't.
Well, I would just say multi-dollar, really.
Yeah, multi-dollar. Okay.
When you get down to
You
it.
deduct everything, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, it was fun, and again, it was a great way to meet people, like for all kinds of people. Like Crass Kitty was there, and got the, and she was great. Also met like some streamer that is really big, Haley something, and she was really great. A lot of really cool people, interesting people, both from the games industry and streamers themselves who are just kind of trying new things out and kind of on this new frontier of stuff with us. And so it was just really neat to meet people and share ideas as what tends to happen at a trade show after hours once you ply people with liquor.
Oh yeah, all the good stuff you get out of them.
All the
yes.
good stuff happens.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was just a good time, and it was cool to be somewhere where there's a lot of like-minded people and people there to see what was possible next, I guess.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. So
Interesting times ahead, definitely.
So the next one is Vegas, and that's going to be fun. I know that you guys aren't going, but I am, and I will party for you guys. keep you in mind.
Yeah, it's just a bad weekend for us because we host the Halloween thing for the family.
Yeah, that's right.
I
That's
imagine
right.
Although my wife was ready to go, she really wants to go back to Vegas.
She can make that sacrifice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I imagine.
So that's another point too. Is like I'm gonna bring I'm bringing my wife as well, and showed her all of these nerdy people that we hang out with. But there's a lot of significant others and spouses that come to these things. So it ends up being like a gathering of like pretty normal people that all play like an internet game together. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
So it's generally lots of fun.
I've been to Vegas once for 5 days. We stayed in the Cosmopolitan. I love that hotel. That's where Boat is.
Sounds terrible.
Oh, the Cosmopolitan is awesome. Go over there and hang out with Boat.
That's where we're staying
okay,
as well.
Cool.
So I like it because they put all of the different each room has a different, I think, movie scene, like paraphernalia from like different movies in it.
I don't know that.
No, I'm thinking of the Planet Hollywood Hotel.
Yeah, that's the Planet Hollywood.
That's right. Yeah, okay.
The Cosmopolitan is across the street, and you go into the lobby, and they have pillars that are just video screens playing digital art.
Yeah.
And when you go into the elevators, the back of the elevator is digital art as well. It's just playing over and over. It's just a very cool thing, and I like the fact that I can get to the pool without going through the smoke-filled casino. So, but yeah, it's a pretty cool place. Definitely go over there and hang out. But we went there for a week, and I've only been there one time with my wife. And she did the spa. I went and golfed, and we didn't gamble. We're not
much fun.
Not much.
I mean, I'm kind of the opinion like I could definitely think of ways to spend $100 irresponsibly that doesn't involve gambling. So.
Yeah. We get access to the. I wish I was going, because we get access to the what is it? The foundation room or something at the House of Blues upstairs.
Oh, that's cool.
And I know a couple people have been there in Vegas. It's just really great to just sit up there at a table with some bottle service and hang out. It's fun.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be some bottle service, so it's not to be missed.
I imagine, Pogba, that you guys are going to be doing something a little bit cooler than this apparent pinball thing, whatever they're doing, whatever CCP are doing over.
The Pinball Wizard event. That's what I call it.
We're ditching the pinball wizard event. I mean, again, like if you're in our community, like you want to do pinball, like you're totally welcome to go. Nobody is going to give you shit if you are a pinball addict and you want to hang out with other pinball junkies. Then do it. We do have some fun activity planned for that night. So I know what it is. I don't know if it's public yet or not, but I will just be mum about it until it becomes public.
I'm sure it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. We need to ply him with some alcohol here, McLeod. We're not really on the air. We just shut off the stream.
Yeah,
get a beer.
Hey, there's some places in Pittsburgh that deliver beer. So I mean, if you can Google them and deliver some beer to my house.
Hey, by the way, I couldn't think of that. The other pizza place other than Villa Royale, it's Monticello's, which is just one block over from you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, Monticello's, excellent pizza.
I actually don't think they're there anymore.
The sign was there.
Yeah,
I drove by.
There's been a lot of changes over there on Liberty.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, there's a lot of restaurants going in and out and new places. They're building a Burger King over there, actually.
Really? I didn't see that.
Damn.
It's like in the old Chinese restaurant. Anyway, that's
what old is China Fan gone?
Yeah, it's like was across the street from the like a hot dog. There's like a really famous hot dog place around there, so it's like across the street from that ish, catty corner to it.
Okay, so you really want hot dogs? Just go up to Oakland to.
I mean, really, like if you wanted to, we could just do a Pittsburgh stream and riff about how awesome Pittsburgh is.
We could take our phones and our tablets around, stream to the media server, kick it out. It'd be great.
Right. No, I can stream from my roof. And you can see all the vistas of the city.
That's true.
And yeah, it's pretty dope. It's been really wet out there the last couple of days, so I don't know if that would work. But
have you been up to Oakland to the O yet?
Not that I can remember. That's not to say I haven't done it. I just don't remember doing it.
So you got to go up there. They got awesome hot dogs.
Okay.
and you buy a fryer full of fries
Okay.
that they just cut the potatoes.
That
It's
sounds
awesome.
dangerous.
Oh yeah, you can buy gravy or ketchup to dip them in. It's awesome. It's great.
So, anyways, if you're out there and you're one of the 22 people listening to us,
Yes.
you should definitely come to Pittsburgh sometime and enjoy our fried cuisine.
Our fried cuisine.
Our fried cuisine.
It's either fried or it's got noodles and cabbage in it. Okay.
Fried or slathered.
Fried or Polish or whatever.
Yeah. But, it's a good place. So
Yes.
yeah, and I'm very excited about. If I haven't relayed this yet, as we're sort of wrapping things up, I'm very excited about what the future holds for Daybreak and H1Z1, and they're actually doing a new content patch for PlanetSide 2 soon, which is going to be really cool. It will have like orbital strikes and player biolabs.
Nice.
So it's just kind of
That'd be
building on
cool.
more player-made structures that can affect gameplay, and I think that's going to just be really awesome once they start rolling that out.
Yeah.
And getting people on board with it. So it's a good time. Definitely, it's going to be probably more aches and pains here and there, but things are starting to look up. So I think it's pretty dope.
I'm excited for the day where H1Z1, either version, right, Just Survive or the King of the Kill, becomes as polished as PlanetSide 2.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's happening. I mean, it's going to get there.
It
So
will happen.
yeah, and it'll be cool. I think H1Z1, especially if they get all these bugs fixed and exploits fixed, or focusing back again on the things they were planning to do, like feature-wise, I think it's going to start getting really, really cool. So yeah, but just go back, fix the polish, fix the bugs, ban the shit out of anybody that tries cheating, and then see where it goes.
I have a question for you because I think I saw this in Discord. Did we push up the TQ codes onto the Imperium News site?
Oh, hey, we did actually.
Excellent.
So we have Tranquility codes now, and people can finally move their groups onto Tranquility and start messing around there.
Right.
From what I understand, we're having a little bit of an activity slump because you guys can't admin the server.
Shh. Shh.
Oh, sorry.
We-
Sorry, I didn't mean to put that out there. Yes, so there are ghost admins floating around. But, yeah.
You know what?
I
We
thought
could
that was a
have an
pretty
event.
well-known bug.
Hold
Admin
on.
us
It probably
Just
is.
a
It
little
is. I was just teasing you, right? You know, we could have an event. Shoot the admin. Because we'd be the only ones flying around. We could fly through the air and they could try and shoot us like clay pigeons.
That would actually.
I'm not exactly opposed to this. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, while it exists, just have an Easter egg
let's
hunt for the admins.
Here it is.
In clay pigeon shooting.
Now we go get a backpack. We load it up with stuff. Okay?
So do people actually know like the bug that we're referring to since it's already out in the open?
Oh, I don't know.
So what is this bug?
So the bug is essentially when we go into spectate mode, which we used to use to catch hackers, right? You can actually see us. So if we're flying through the air,
it's buggy. So sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Okay.
But like,
yeah. So and you can shoot us and kill us.
yeah.
And
I've had it happen before already.
yeah. So that'd be kind of cool. Load up a character. Load up your character, and just fly around. And then and I'd actually like to see if we get shot in the air, if all the loot falls to the ground, or it stays in the air.
That'd be pretty cool.
No.
So
We could try that out. So yeah, that'd be cool. I think that's something I'm gonna try next week. We were actually contacted in the middle of my stream on Wednesday, Marconius. There was a group of 10 guys that wanted to come on. They sound like they were maybe from South America.
yeah, I actually talked to them and I got them. I told them the codes were available, so hopefully they'll be on. But yeah, this is kind of a really good thing. If anybody wants to ask me questions or needs to get in touch with somebody, it's so easy for you to just go to Discord and click on the link, join our Imperium Discord, and then message me Porkbutt and be like, hey, I need some hookers and blow, at this location at this time, and I'll be like, all right, well, I can't do it right now, but I'll try to get to you when I can. And yeah, I mean that's
Amazon
easy.
Prime button that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like preferred service if you're an Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime member. But
There you go. There you go.
get the no.
It's
But
the order button.
I think that would be outstanding. Just a quick reminder, right? If you've got Amazon Prime, you can, for no additional charge on a monthly basis, you could subscribe to this channel, and also shoot us a follow if you're not following and you're enjoying the show. We have lots of streamers. I think we've got the Meta show up next, which is actually always been one of my favorite shows.
Yep.
I
So
always tune
stick
into that
around and we'll hear about all the crazy shenanigans that are going on in EVE right now, which is actually there's a lot of them along with the Alliance tournament. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the Alliance
there's be plenty of things to
tournament
talk about.
Yep.
Yeah, there's also all the November patch stuff that's going to be coming along. So, yeah.
Yeah, and if you like EVE, I mean, Talking in Stations had a great show about it last night, so catch that show. They were really digging into the new changes.
Yeah.
It was great.
Lots of stuff.
All right.
Cool guys. Well, thanks for having me on. And,
Thanks, Marconius, for coming around.
Talk to you later.
All right. Take care.
No problem.
Bye.
Take care.
Yep. So,
But
hey,
yeah.
we're about ready to wrap up. Any last words? We got about 2 minutes.
I'm just, I'm kind of like, I'm in the sort of mode of cautious optimism at the moment. So, yeah.
Yep.
Like, it's always been a bit of a bane of Just Survive when the Invitational comes along. That we're always kind of, overlooked as such. But now it's over. We've got a new general manager kind of thing, and this new guy called Landon Montgomery.
Yes.
Sounds awesome.
Yep.
His resume looks really cool as well. So that fills me with confidence, actually.
So we're going to reach out and see if we can get some time with him. Let's see if we can do that and bring him to the show.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to do it. I'm very excited for what we do. I would love to have a King of the Kill server that we could run tournaments on. That would just be so cool.
I would really, really like that. But that's obviously completely up to whether Daybreakers.
That's up to Marconius to have a silver tongue and get that for us. Alrighty, guys. With that, we're gonna let you go. If you haven't got your Tranquility codes, go to the Imperium.news site. Right, http://Imperium.news. There we go. And get your King of the Kill codes, and also read the articles. There's also a forum site off of that which you can join and converse with everybody, as well as our Discord. So please join up for our Discord too and hang out with all the Imperium guys and be an Imperium person, right?
Exactly.
Alrighty, without any more ado, we're gonna say see you later and go enjoy the Meta show next.
Yes.
Come on and get it right now.